edition of Alpine Intel's The Savvy Adjuster Podcast. As James mentioned, my name is Chris Nichols. I'm Senior Account Manager here at Alpine Intel. Now, much like Interconnect 2025, this podcast focuses on upcoming trends, best practices, and really overall innovation in the insurance industry. And I'm very excited to be joined by our founder and CEO of Alpine Intel, Damon Stafford. He's been a big part of the changes to the insurance industry for almost 2 decades at this point. And as James mentioned, he's written a book called Believe in Better, The Evolution of Core Principles that pioneered in the industry. Damon, welcome to the Savvy Adjuster Podcast.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Totality, for the incredible hospitality and presentation today.
So we're going to dive into the book a little bit, but before we do that, I'm sure our listeners, not only at home, but here at Interconnect 2025, would love to hear just a little bit about your background and really the founding of Alpine Intel.
Sure. So I have a technology and sales background. Back in 2011, I was exposed to the world of insurance and specifically the property claims, and really found an opportunity to address a problem that existed within the insurance world. All kind of like circling around the lack of subject matter expertise as it relates to complex claims. And so from that, HVACI, Strike Check, and CCG IQ were born, which became Alpine Intel, a rebrand in 2022, which we can all appreciate after the new Totality name today for a while.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you again joining us here today. I want to talk a little bit about the book, again, called Believe in Better. Which, spoiler alert, if you haven't picked it up, please do. It's a fantastic read. But in the book, you talk about what you've learned as you've established Alpine Intel into really an all-in-one solution for property, auto, liability, workers' comp claims. Would love to, a central idea in the book is how core values really drive the success of a company. So I'd love for you to share what successes you've seen at Alpine because of your core values and really how they enable your leaders to maximize the outcome of their decisions there.
I think one important point on the core values in the book, and he says it on the front cover, but it's the evolution of the core values and principles. Very much not here are the 10 things that I set out to do when founding a company, and here's how I executed those perfectly. It's more about looking in hindsight, the principles and values that made us successful and created success. All stemming from obviously the core values and principles, but most importantly the team that I was surrounded with and the community surrounded with at Alpine. We had a bit of a different, I have a bit of a different mentality. I think that there's a huge opportunity to be a differentiated platform or product by focusing on the simple, which in this case is creating product solutions that are client first. And what I mean is approaching the problem to be solved from the client's perspective. And if you pair that with dedication to the core values and principles that you live by as an organization, then you're truly a differentiator compared to your peers or your competitors. So at Alpine, we focus on from a core value standpoint. There are 4 or 5 that are very present that we live by, try to live by, not always easy. One of those is authenticity and approaching conversation and communication in a genuine way. We also focus on giving credit where credit is due, kind of keeps the drama down at the executive table or senior leadership table, and we're able to walk away by being a stronger team, when you give credit to those that are actually doing the hard work. Also hustle, which has a bit of a different definition than some in hustle. I encourage you to buy the book and download the audio version to find out. But also, transparency is another core value that's created a lot of success for Alpine and me personally. As we're dedicated to focusing on being very transparent with both data, your opinion, and a lot of other things that are associated with communication.
Yeah. So in the book, and we're not trying to give too much away, we want people to actually read it, right? But you do talk about a relentless pursuit of success and innovation. And so, I'm curious, in your opinion, what steps can insurance leaders take to make this approach work effectively in their teams?
Yeah, so to go back to communication, imagine being in a meeting, sitting at a table, and everyone everyone in the meeting or sitting on the table has only the best intentions, right? Like positive intentions. There's no gaming. There's no like political gaming or approach to the meeting, and that you were able to give permission to challenge each other. There's enough trust in the safe place to be able to challenge each other and to truly collaborate and to have a genuine approach to making decisions, not necessarily getting to a consensus, but more so getting to alignment. And so if you can get to a place where you're aligned, you have the ability to execute your plan without hindsight, looking back, worrying about, is there a meeting after the meeting? Is this really what we're going to do? Those are things that have made us successful over the years by being able to kind of avoid unnecessary conversations and meetings by focusing on getting it all out of the table when you're making a decision. And that allows us to be nimble in making the decisions, but then also in executing and ultimately finding out if we made the right decision or not.
Sure. But you kind of lead into my next question. You hear sometimes that poorly managed teams can often become echo chambers, right? Which can then ultimately lead to some missed opportunities and growth in the company. So can you discuss the impact that listening to different perspectives within an organization can not only have the company's overall growth, but really their overall innovation?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite topics, and understanding the perspective of who you're speaking to, the cliche of the other side of the table is incredibly important. It's my opinion that if you have everyone at the table has the same opinion, and the old bobblehead, yes ma'am, yes sir, that's exactly what I think, and no pushback and no collaboration, then why have the meeting? So we embrace the different opinions. We respectfully engage with one another, but in a way that we're able to be transparent with one another. I think understanding the role and responsibility of the folks that you're meeting with, the executive team or whoever it may be, is very important. That everyone has their own responsibilities to the company. They're the stewards of the company of Alpine, and if you can let yourself release a little bit on the potential of having like some not conflict, but healthy dialogue, then you get to a better place, and ultimately you're a stronger team by kind of working through the different opinions that exist. We also it's a bit of a empty suit terminology is one that we use, but we really focus on having healthy dialogue.
Yeah. No, I think it's important to not surround yourself with 10 Damons, right? Otherwise, growth is going to be impeded, right? It's nice to hear those different perspectives from different levels of the company. As far as, once somebody picks up the book, reads it, checks out the core principles, your insights in there, for those insurance leaders that are aiming to integrate some of those processes, right, into their own businesses, are there any challenges they should maybe expect? And then on the flip side of that, how would you suggest they overcome those challenges?
I think, especially in this room, it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. It's always a journey. Setting your expectations on when you're going to achieve the end result is one that I think we all kind of struggle with. We want it now. That's why we're here, right? With the folks that can get it done and create change and innovate. Change management within within the organization is something that I think we always want to keep front of mind, and that being consistent and applying these principles to things like innovation isn't always a comfortable place for people to be. And so focusing on kind of driving through those changes are super important, to get to the end result.
Sure. Well, that's coming up on our time. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Thank you.
But no, thank you to everybody for joining us, and specifically for you carving out some time today to share some of your insights. Really appreciate the time too.
And also, I think we set a record for the fastest podcast in the history.
Yeah, it's a little mini episode.
Well, thanks again to you. Thanks to the totality for the event. Very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks to everybody, not only for listening at home, which some people are, but for those that showed up live here, we really appreciate that. If you want to see some of these innovative practices that we've been talking about in action, shameless plug, but you should definitely check out our website. And yes, it is alpineintel.com. So check out a variety of property loss solutions we have for you there. And while you're there, submit a claim so you can see it in action for yourself. And I say it every podcast, but if you like what we heard here today, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. But really appreciate everybody joining here today, and we'll see you next time.